This is footage from the rear camera on the iPad Air 3. This is the iPad that I chose to get instead of the iPad Pro back in the day. I got a really good deal on this. This retails for about $500 and I got it for less than half. So I got a good deal on it. But this is the type of footage that you can expect from the iPad Air 3. I got this iPad because it's a lot less than the iPad Pro that I used to have, and it pretty much has the same processing power and speed in my testing, and so this was good for me. Now the cameras obviously are not on par with the iPad Pro 11 or 12, but this is good enough for the average consumer. So I wanted to shoot this part of the video and show you that this thing is awesome. Now here's the front camera on the iPad Air 3. Really like this camera too. It'd be good for vlogs. Let's look at the viewfinder. It's actually pretty accurate. It's kind of blowing out that back side over there. So if I switch to like this, you can see how it doesn't handle it very well. And let's switch around like this and see how it handles that area. See how it's kind of blowing out all the sky and everything. But that's to be expected with a tablet like this. These cameras are not the best in this situation, but they are very good cameras in the right lighting. Now here's the iPad Air in some pretty good lighting, and you can see here the footage looks absolutely great on the front camera. I think so. I think it's a really good camera for vlogging, and you get a huge viewfinder. I mean, this viewfinder is big. It's a 10.5-inch display. So yeah, this camera on the front is good in ideal settings like this. Now here is my iPad Air 3. This is the latest version for the iPad Air. This thing is actually really nice. Basically, if you have an iPad Pro 10.5, you know the size of this one right here, but you're getting a much more powerful chip and you're getting fast, fluid performance, just like the iPad Pro 11 and 12. Now, I used to have the iPad 11, as you remember, but I got rid of it because I could save a ton of money by using this. Now, this does have something that I actually prefer, the fingerprint reader on the Apple products. That's just a preference that I have. The facial recognition is fast, but I don't know how I feel about it on a tablet. And I just kind of didn't really grow on me yet, but maybe later on I'll get another iPad Pro 11. But for now, I really like having a fingerprint reader and a headphone jack. This is great for when I'm trying to edit things and I really need to hear the sound. I can plug in with some very nice earphones or headphones and I'll come out really well. Now this also is compatible. Now I bought this Logitech pencil a long time ago when people frowned on it, but now it's available with all iPads and not just the 6th gen with the latest update from Apple. So editing on here, as you can see, you'll see my iMovie pop up. I've done a ton of editing with this thing, and editing on the timeline here is actually really good. So you can really get a sense of how you might need this opposed to using your finger. Now, this is something that's a personal choice. Obviously, you don't have to use an Apple Pencil or a Logitech pencil, but I suggest you grab one of these if you're going to do some editing with an iPad. I think you will thank yourself later. You really will. So, yeah, how's the performance of this thing? How's the battery? Well, I'll tell you, battery life on this thing is ridiculous. This thing goes for days at a time, man. And performance is just fantastic. I really enjoy the battery life on here because I don't have to charge it very much. And I'm still getting a lot of battery out of this thing. I'm telling you, you will love it. Performance and everything on here is solid, man. Performance is what you would expect from an Apple product. But there she is. It's a sweet ride. But if you haven't subscribed to my other channel on YouTube, go ahead and go over to 2009 Silver 300S and you will find me there, and also on Twitter and Instagram. Quick plug. But yeah, the performance on here, and I've always liked social media better on the Apple products for some reason. Android is good and everything, but a lot of the Android applications are just continuously updating all the time. And, you know, the way the Android ecosystem is for social media, it has its advantages over Apple's iOS, but I personally like the iPad for social media in particular. I have iPhones. I'm recording with one of the iPhones, but I just really like social media because I get this huge canvas on here. And I think I'm going to be comparing this to another tablet that I picked up when it was on sale. And so look for that video. because you know it costs a little more than this one. You're going to tell me you should probably compare it to the iPad Pro, but I'll disclose information about that, and it has a pencil too. So, but nonetheless, I do have a bridge keyboard for this as well that I use sometimes, but ultimately with tablets, I just like to hold them. I think that's the best way for a tablet. So I want to give you a quick update on this, man. The cameras are really, really decent for recording if you need them to. If you need to do a vlog, you just grab one of these. This right here is a thing that you use if you want to put a tablet in a stand to vlog, or you know, have it on a mount for a tripod. It's got the tripod mount. I bought this years ago. Let me tell you, it's still good, man. It's got padding in here for your iPad. It works with pretty much any tablet, but I just prefer to use this when I'm vlogging with something. I have other kinds of mounts for tablets, but I choose to use that one. It's been the most efficient for me. It doesn't cost a lot. It's plastic. It's got the sponge inside, and it protects the iPad all the way around. It's got sponge and grip all through the entire thing, so it'll protect your iPad, and you'll be able to pop it up on a tripod and do your vlogging and recording or whatever you're doing with it. But nonetheless, performance, battery, screen. Some people complain about the screen on this. I actually have a tempered glass on here, and I really like this display, man. I don't feel any kind of way about this display. I think it's actually great, man. So it's a good look. Web browsing, YouTube video, media content. It's got stereo speakers. They're just on one side, And so when I'm editing on here, I use an adapter that I've reviewed already for this, since it still has the older Lightning and not the Type-C. Which is fine with me because I have a lot of lightning cables and a lot of things, man. But I can load things directly onto the iPad itself, and it comes out. It's just quick, it's fast and easy. So the 12 nanometer chip in here is fantastic. Like I said, it performs just as fast as my iPad Pro 11 did for editing, and I don't really see the difference. So quick update on the iPadAir 3. This is total awesomeness. I'm so glad that I still have this thing. I really like it. I really was considering switching to an iPad Pro again, but they just seem a little bit more fragile also. And this one is really thin, so I really enjoy it. It's just, I got a good deal on this, and so I'm not going to get rid of this regardless. So even if I were to get an iPad Pro, I don't think I would ever get rid of this because I got it for like $200, folks, brand new at the Apple store. So I did really good on this one. So, but these retail for about $500, which I think is totally worth it for the people that think they need an iPad Pro 11. Yeah, only time this probably wouldn't be worth it is when the iPad Pros are discounted to almost $500. That's pretty much what will make, I would tell you, okay, just go ahead and spend the extra $50 or extra $100 and get the iPad Pro possibly. But still, even those discount, they're still not as low as this. I don't think we'll ever see the iPad Pro 11 or 12, especially not the 12, but the 11. I don't think we'll see it drop down to $500 for some time to come. I don't think that's going to happen, because this is the alternative to that, and you get a nice chip inside. Like I said, fantastic tablets. If you don't have the iPadAir 3, I think you should probably check it out. I think it's a fantastic tablet myself, and there's pen support other than Apple's expensive pen that you might have to buy. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoy it. Take care.